Well, first of all, I've been listening to the album for the last 2 weeks, and congratulations, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I mean, you must be pleased with it.
Yes, every morning I go for a long walk and a run, jog up the hill and down the area, and I listen to the album because I just came off touring. So when we tour, we're doing Yes music, and then I come home and I think, now I can listen to the new album True, and I did. It was very good.
When I listen to it, it sounds like the follow up to The Ladder should have sounded like. Would you?
Yes, yeah, yes, very true. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very yesism.
Yeah. So I know how you guys met, how you met him. You saw that video online, and then and you called him, and of course, he didn't believe you when you called him and
True.
said. But so I was more wondering at what point during the tour you did last year, did you decide let's do an album?
I think it was the end. We did 12 shows and everything went really great. And these guys are marvelous people. They're wonderful to be with and they're musically very, very talented. So it was just the last day. We were finishing up the show and everything. I turned to Richie and said, we should make an album just to like a farewell moment, and be in touch and we'll call you in a couple of weeks. Yeah, okay. And I'll send you some music. And he said, oh, I'll send you some as well. I said, okay. And that's how it happened. And interestingly, we made the album via Zoom. So every Tuesday, we would Zoom each other and sometimes with everybody in the band, or maybe sometimes just Richie and the drummer, Andy, who actually plays beautiful piano. And we worked every Tuesday on ideas that we'd sent to each other. And that happened over a period of 2 months. And then we said, okay, it's sounding good. I think we finished it. Okay. That's only a month ago, actually.
Yeah. So how did you work on the music? Did you send him some stuff, then he sent you some stuff? Did you do
Yeah.
things together on Zoom or?
Yeah. The first song I sent was Counties and Countries, and it was just me with guitar because I wrote the song 10 years ago and I found a cassette
Oh.
with all these songs on, and one was Counties and Countries. So I sent him the version, and I didn't hear anything for about a week or so, and then all of a sudden he sent me the half of the finished project with the orchestra and everything, and it was da 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 da, and I was kind of mesmerized how good it was.
You said you found a song that was 10 years old. I also know that the song Thank God, that's from the For Him project, isn't it?
Sorry, that was a song that I wrote with a guy who lives near Nashville. I'd met him a few times, Robin Crow, and he has probably the most beautiful studio ever in the world. It's like a little castle of energy. It's just a beautiful place, way outside of Nashville. And me and my wife went to stay there with him for the new year. Actually, I was actually working on an album with Yes in Vancouver, which became the album.
The
Which
Ladder.
one was it? The Ladder, yes. And I was happy with that album, but when I came to see Robin, we just sat around singing and writing songs. And one of them was Thank God, because a homage to my wife.
My favorite piece, and I guess you're going to hear this from a lot of people you're talking with about this album, is Once Upon a Dream. That's absolutely beautiful. Can you tell me a little bit how that track got started and how it developed?
Well, basically, over the years, I've worked with many people, and I have a sort of library of musical information. And then I just picked out this one that I wrote with my good friend Jonathan Elias, um, who is more famous for doing advert music, and but he's written some beautiful albums, and Requiem for the Americas was one of them that I sang on 20 years ago. So I just picked out this one song, which was more like a chant. I'm just looking for it now so I can remember. Sort of thing, you know. I decided to get all my lyrics available so I can maybe re-sing them, make it right. Oh, no, I haven't got it here. I should have it. But it was just the idea of the chant. And then there was a song really about, here it is. This grand design, only one true meaning, immortalize all that we know, telling tales, look around, we laugh, we cry, the eyes of many. You know, it's just singing about us, people, humans on this planet Earth, you know. And I think everything is possible. Everything is possible. I remember. And yeah, I just built it as we went along. So Richie would do the chant and then put some music together. And then he did some chord sequence and I started writing a song on it. So over the course of maybe a month, we wrote it together in and out. He'd get a certain section going and then I'd find something and then throw that in. It's like making dinner. We're mixing everything in a pot, you know. And the interesting thing was there's always a feeling that, okay, now it's getting very classic Yes style at the moment. All we need now is like an emptiness sort of feeling, which we found. And then I started singing about really life is once upon a dream in a way. Once upon a time we do this, and once upon a time we try this. And then I know there's this middle section because I just listened to it on my walk.
Yeah, because there's this beautiful quiet section where you sing
Yeah,
"You Are Free," and
yeah,
and he does this beautiful guitar playing in the background.
yes. He you know, Richie's a remarkable musician, and I think I got to know him because of the album. We made the album, and I was always in shock. Wow, Richie, that beautiful guitar work, especially the end of Once Upon a Dream. The chant comes in again, and then he does this brilliant guitar work ending it. And up to then, I was saying, okay, there's a middle section where I sing "Twice upon a lifetime, twice upon a dream, you were an angel of your story." We're all angels, you know, or to become angels, you know, wanting to become angels in this life, you know. So that's what the song really is about. Right towards the very end, I sing "Dreams Are Meant to Be." It's like, this is a dream that we're doing now, this album. We just met a year ago and we're making this album, and it's got something very, very special about it. And I'm glad you like it. And I can't wait to sort of perform next spring because we talked about it because we just finished touring. We're going to go out again in about 3 weeks. And then next spring, I said, why don't we go out and we can do the whole album? You know, that would be magnificent. And of course, we could do 1 hour of that, which is the whole album, and then 1 hour of, yes, epics and classics because we like doing it.
So
It's very
speaking of
good fun.
touring, I mean, you're touring in the US right now. Will you be coming over to us guys in Europe?
Please, please. All we need is agent to call my agent, our agent, da 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 da. There's talk about going to the UK, and I say, I don't want to just go to the UK. I want to go to the UK, Scandinavia, Paris, Germany, Italy. Thank you. Spain.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah.
Trevor Rabin released a great solo album last year. Did you hear it?
No, but I heard one song which I thought was very Trevor, very, very strong.
Yeah. And when I spoke to him, I interviewed him about 10 months ago when the album came out, and I
Yeah.
asked him about the music business, and he said, "I don't understand the music business anymore at all. I'm just playing." It's that how you feel?
Yeah, I think that during the course of time, you bump into people and managers, agents, and things, and you start to learn about people who don't make music try to handle you, and you realize, well, wait a minute, this is not fun for some reason. So now I have a new manager, and I know that he loves Yes Music totally because he comes from Philadelphia, which is a very Yes capital. And so I trust him. But over the years, it's been very hard to trust anybody in a record company, people, or because they were the big people in the 70s. I got to tell you a quick story that we had a big hit record, Owner of a Lonely Heart. And I tell this story on stage now. Basically, we were going to be big stars because the record company said we're going to be number one around the world. So we got together in New York and we were very happy to, we're going to be rock stars, sort of thing. And there was two guys. I said to the band guys, I said, listen, we should have a camera guy with us all the time, like a fly on the wall, what it's like to be in a band, because Yes has never done that. And they all said, why? I said, because it would be good for us, for people to know what it's like to be in Yes. And so they let me get two young kids straight out of film school in Philadelphia to come on the road. Now, we did a show, that was our first show, Owner of a Lonely Heart. People went crazy, and the album sounding really good. And then the next show was Boston. And I didn't want to get in a private plane anymore. I just said, no, I'm going to drive with these two guys. There's one guy called Tim and the other guy, Steve. And so we're driving to Boston. We stopped for petrol, and there's a cinema next to the petrol station. And there's a big sign saying Spinal Tap. And I said, what the heck's that? And Tim, with a guy with a big stick and a microphone, said, oh, it's all about rock and roll. So let's go and see it. So we went to see Spinal Tap. There was the three of us at the front of the cinema and a little old lady at the back. I couldn't stop laughing because it was us. It was everything about a band that was us and a manager and da. Oh, it blew my mind. So quite honestly, I was on the road then around the world with a number one hit record, and I was having the time of my life because everything was so funny. And the guys in the band thought I was crazy because they didn't see the movie. So I don't know
That's
what that
funny.
means, but
Yeah,
it's life.
they're actually making a sequel this year to Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap 2 is coming out.
They should because it was a magical film
Yeah,
movie. It
it's
was.
very very funny. Now, looking back at your career, is there anything? What are your highlights? Do you have anything you look upon as highlights?
What I'm doing now is probably the most extraordinary, wonderful experience. Releasing a new album. I'm 18 in October, so I'm 79 years old. I'm singing better than I've ever sang. I don't know. It's just my spirit of enjoying life and being madly in love with my wife Jane, with 31 years together. And then all of a sudden, I'm making an album with a group of musicians who actually sound like Yes without all the problems. It's a very simple thing.
Yeah, I mean that's you. You always have such a positive outlook on life.
Yeah, I've learned over the years that why we live is to experience the divine energy that surrounds us, and most people know this, but I love singing about it, and I have no worries about anything because I know everything will work out. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking about Bob Marley, everything's going to be all right. No woman, no cry. It's like Bob Marley's his songs were so beautiful and so simple.
Are there any young musicians that you listen to today that you like? Are there any big artists around the world right now?
With the beginning of COVID, I learned about a guy called Jacob Collier.
Oh yeah.
And I went, who the heck is this guy? And listening to his orchestration of his song, I haven't written his songs down, but, and there was a lovely, you get a comment after you watch the video of him doing a song, and the comment was, welcome home, Mozart.
Yeah,
And that's it. This
yeah.
guy is unbelievable.
I saw him live this summer. He was all alone on stage, and it was I couldn't believe what I saw.
He conducts the audience.
Yeah.
He does this. Well, let's make music, and
Yeah, but that was incredible.
Yeah. So I'm also fascinated with Sirius Radio. Do you have that?
No, but I know what it is because I've been to the US
Okay.
many times.
Well, there's a station on there called No Shoes Radio, and it's this guy, and I can never remember his name. Is that terrible? But it's country groove music, and gosh, I should write his name down so I've always got it. But he's a very talented songwriter, and the station No Shoes Radio plays a lot of people that I've never heard of, and it's a lot of good music out there.
Speaking of young people, I mean, you worked with an orchestra with kids a couple of years ago, playing yes music. I mean,
Last
what?
year we
Yeah,
were in
last year, yeah,
Sweden,
yeah.
Uppsala.
Yes, that's right. You were in Uppsala. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, that must be incredibly gratifying for a songwriter to see, people two, maybe even three generations younger than you playing music you wrote 50 years ago.
yeah, we were doing Close to the Edge. It was, you can see it on YouTube. It's still great, the fact that music is hopefully timeless, and what happened was 20 years ago, I was doing a show with Yes in Philadelphia, 25 years ago. And I came off stage and there was about a dozen kids, with T-shirts, School of Rock. So I said, hey, what are you doing here? Do you enjoy the show? Yeah, good. And then Paul Green, who ran the project, came over and said, hey, Jon, how are you? That was a great show. Would you like to come to Philadelphia and work with these teenagers? And, you could be like, tell them what's good to do on stage. I said, no, I don't want to do this. The kids, And then a week later, he sent me a cassette of the kids playing Heart of the Sunrise, which is exactly what I found when I found the Band Geeks. These kids could play it, So I called him up and said, Paul, how you doing? Hey, these kids are really good. Yeah, maybe I'll come over with me and Jane will spend a week with you guys. And he said, look, tonight we're in Los Angeles releasing our documentary, and we wanted to play Heart of the Sunrise. Would you come and sing it? And I said, yeah, we'll be there. So I went down to LA and I sang with the kids, And that started a series of events over the past 25 years or so. And I went out with the Band Geeks, and then I went out with the kids to Europe. And that was fantastic, Like you say, they're playing and music they know it, but they don't know it's from 50 years ago.
Okay, Jon, thank you.
I wish you well.
You too.
And I'm glad you enjoy the album.
And good luck with the tour.
Yeah, we'll see you on tour. You got to come and see the show.
I'll do my best. Thank you.
Hugna. But I'll call
Hogne.
you
Yeah,
Bo.
that's
I'll call you Bo.
okay. Great.
Gotta go.
Okay, bye.
Bye.